Okay, here we go. We want to make this little stamp with the lino cut, and I've done a few of these before. They're lots of fun. I saw this little stamp for a witch I thought was kind of cute. Now obviously I'm not doing that little witch, but it gave me an idea. And this is an AI generated one that I created, and so I'm going to use that today. I'm going to use this thin block of lino, piece of paper. I've already used a pencil on the back, and I'm just going to tape it on and then cut it out. I was going to see if it would fit this way, which would be handy because then I could save some lino, and it looks like it will. So I think I'll cut it down a little bit and see if I can't fit it on this way. All right, now we're going to grab a pencil and I'm just going to trace it on. Okay. All right, that looks good. So now we could cut this off if we want, but I think I'm going to do that. And a really easy way is just with a pair of scissors. And when I'm finished, I am going to cut around this so I can cut fairly close to the bottom here. And I can even cut in like that. Okay, so I'll save that for a different project. And we'll go in. I don't want to cut the excess off first because we want something to hold on to while we're carving. So I am going to leave my picture here because some of her hair, actually I'm going to pop it over here. Some of her hair didn't copy perfectly, but that's okay. So the next thing I want to do, because once I start touching it, the pencil can smear. So right now is a great time to grab pen and go over those lines just to make sure I don't rub any off. Okay, I'm using the smallest attachment that came with this, and I'm using the Speedball. It came with 3 other attachments, so this is the smallest, and I'm going to go all the way around right now, and then I can start going in with the bigger ones to get rid of the outside. This is going to be a fairly simple cut because it's a plain silhouette. There is going to be a little bit more detail. I might add a little detail to her skirt and down in the grass here. But all in all, it should be a fairly straightforward one. So let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. I don't want to zoom in too much because then I tend to work outside the box. I'll try to keep it here so I don't take off anywhere I shouldn't be. Okay, so we want to remove carefully along the line. Okay, I have it all carved around the outside, but just to make sure, I'm just going to go over it with this marker that clearly is out of ink, but that's okay. It'll leave enough behind for me to see what I'm doing. And I guess I'll invest in a new Sharpie soon. But mostly it's around this hair that I cut that it's hard to see the cut lines and her little hands. Okay, I think that's good enough. And I got the grass. Oh, I forgot to cut around this grass, see? There we go, I gotta finish that. All right. All the supplies for this project I got off of Amazon. It's pretty easy to find. Just type in lino cutting, Speedball. Actually, I bought the tool at Michael's, I believe. Anyways, so now we can go through and go a little bit deeper, being careful to not go past and cut her head off. That would be unfortunate. But now that we have those careful lines in there, it's a lot easier to go through and dig deeper without having to worry about getting too close to the stamp. Okay, I got my scissors. I'm gonna cut it out. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit here. Maybe a little bit more. You can see. Okay, so I'm gonna cut pretty close where I can. Because I am gonna mount this onto stamping block, I guess you would say. So I'm going to go through and cut it out pretty close. And it doesn't have to be perfect because, like I said, it's going on a block. But the more I cut off, is the less I have to carve out of there. So if I was going to just use it as is, I would leave more on the outside to stabilize it, but we don't need to, so just gonna get it off of there. Those little fingers, I'm anxious to see how they worked because they were very small. I don't know how good that's gonna come out. I'm probably gonna have to go in and clean them up a little bit, but we will see. Okay, we got our grass on there, like that. Take that little end off. Okay, it's not really pretty, but that doesn't matter. Pretty isn't what we're going for. A workable stamp is what we are going for sure. So, before I go any further, I am going to do a stamping and see what happens. I'll be right back. Okay, I have my stamp. This is a acrylic board I got from the dollar store, and that's what I'm gonna mount it on. I'm gonna, at some point, glue it on there. Well, as soon as I'm done cleaning up all the carving on it. There are some little sections here I know I'm gonna have to clean up, but first I want to stamp so I don't have to do it over and over again. So I'm just got some ground espresso ink and just a piece of paper here. So let's try it here. So because it's not mounted, it's going to be a little tricky. I'll just use this to press it down when I'm done. Let's ink it up. Maybe a larger ink pad would have been more helpful, but this one was beside me, so I'm going to use it. It's kind of leaving an interesting pattern on there. It's a brand new pad. I just ordered in a bunch of these inks. I have lots of the oxides, but I didn't really have very many inks, so now I do. Okay, she looks cute already. So let's see what we can do here. Pop her on, and then I'm going to use this to give her a press. I'll make sure it's nice and even pressure. All right. Let's see what we got. Wow, how cute is that? I love her already. I actually don't even mind some of these little things that are popping out. This one, however, I don't like. It's mirroring that too much. So these are the sections that I'm going to focus on. So let's just take a minute. I'm just going to pop that up. I'll just do a little bit of a close-up for you, so hopefully you can see. I can't see my camera, so I really do hope it's in focus for you. But you can see it's a pretty beautiful print. So now that I know where I need to clean up, I think I'll actually leave this one on. I'm going to just pop this underneath because I don't want to jab into here. I'm going to clean. And now if you look at the stamp close up, because I've got ink on it, you can really see where these higher edges are, these ones here. So I'm just going to go clean those up. Okay, we're back. Let's try it again. I cleaned off all of these areas that I didn't like. And like I said, I don't mind some of these little marks. They're really organic and cute, but let's see what we get this time. So I'd love to hear in the comments if you have tried making your own stamps before or have made your own stamps before. It's quite a lot of fun. And it's nice to have a really unique stamp that only you have. Just part of the creative process. Let's pop it on and stick that on again. Make sure you give the ink time to soak into the paper. It is kind of a big stamp, so you want to make sure you go over it. And it's best if you can use something over it, because if you don't, it tends to kind of give you a little bit here and there, but not the whole thing. So let's see how that looks now. Oh, I love it. Now, her fingers are a little odd, but I'm okay with that. In fact, I could take those off. If you can see, I could take those two off and just leave that, and that might look even better. So I think I'm going to do that. Just remove those first couple fingers. It won't hurt. Just go in a nice straight line and pop them off. You know, it was a bit of a push to think that I could get those tiny little fingers in, so. But I wanted to try. I'm just gonna have to go and cut that chunk off. All right, and that one. It's hard to get my scissors in at that angle. There we go. Okay, the grass was also tricky to get, but I kind of like it, so I'm going to leave it. Just going to clean this into the garbage. Okay, one more time. Everybody cross their fingers. Hopefully I didn't wreck the hand. All right. Here we go. Popping that on. Give that a nice burnish. I think we'll be good. Okay, let's see what we got on this one. All right. Her hand is not perfect. Is it gonna drive me nuts? Maybe. That is, that's the chance you take when you make something so delicate like this. But I think I'm gonna try to go in and clean that up just the tiniest bit if I can. It's hard now. When you're going to the edge, it's hard because you're not pushing into anything. And so you can make a mess fairly easily. And these are sharp, so I also don't want to go into my finger like that. But if I'm extra careful, I'm gonna take that little bit out too. And I feel like her wrist here is a little thick. So while I'm working, I will go in and remove just the tiniest bit, and maybe it'll make her hand look like it's upturned a little bit more there. But you can see in the progression here, oops, I'm dropping my tool. You can see in the progression that she is becoming more and more cleaned up as we go. And if you're all about perfection, then I guess purchasing a stamp might be a better option. But the journey is half the fun. So I really like her. I'm really happy with her. I think I'm done cleaning up, except for that one I see on the tip of her hat is causing a few issues, so I'll get rid of that. Might just take my scissors and clip that off so it doesn't cause any more mischief. All right. Okay, this is it. I'm doing one more stamp and then I'm moving on. And I think I will try something different. Let's do a little cleanup here. Just one sec. I've got a cloth. Just clean off that ground espresso. Oh, now I made a mess. That's okay. That's okay. Now I stuck my finger in there. Good grief. Let's do Villainous Potion and see what we get. Whoa. Well, I love her already. right, everybody ready? Let's put her here. I'm gonna get rid of that so it doesn't goof up my stamp. Put that down. Bring it in. All right. Is anybody else in love with this color as much as me? Yeah, comment below if you are, because wow. I feel like we need more purples in our life. All right, let's go here. Oh yes, look at her. Super cute. All right, I'm gonna call her a win. And I'm gonna call this video finished. There is going to be a continuation. I'm going to be doing some more of these stamps, and then we're gonna put them all together and make something really pretty if it all works out. And if you'd like to find out if it works out, I'd love for you to join me. So thanks so much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope maybe you learned a couple things. I'm always learning as I go. So have a great day.